Scarfolk Council presents Mind Control for Dummies.
You know, this is my least favorite cover of Frere Jacques.
One of these people is a killer android programmed by IBM. Guess which one?
Okay, now it's Bolero. Make up your mind, soundtrack.
Is it her? Is it him? Yes, that's the killer android. Well spotted.
Oh, good old 60s misogyny.
Yes, but it's British 60s misogyny, so it's charming and polite.
Man,
Punch, where's a pretty hat?
Has the capacity for abstract thought and the freedom to choose what to do or think.
Well, man and certain kinds of
What he
lemurs.
decides to do may be a subjective choice, a matter of personal preference.
No one would ever have a personal preference to dance like
What he
that.
enjoys
Seriously.
may be the result of his taste or education.
Or lack thereof.
But there are certain cases where there is, like it or not, no choice, where facts are facts and quite inescapable.
2 plus 2 equals I like
Here, the
5.
computer is man's newest tool.
Twizzlers?
In the Industrial Revolution, machines multiplied the power of his hands. Today, the computer can provide an enormous extension of his mental powers.
Insert Gamergate
But
joke
to use such a
here.
revolutionary tool properly, it must be understood, seen in perspective.
Here is a drawing of a computer.
Humans
Note
are
the stout
artistic,
legs and flexible
valuable,
trunk.
Wait, 2
inventive,
plus 3 equals
original.
elephant? Mind
Their
blown.
capacities are tremendous. But in the realm of facts, where there is only one possible answer,
Which is elephants, apparently. These kids know.
where there is no question of judgment or opinion, and where human qualities such as imagination and foresight are not required.
Oh, it's Brian
computers
Eno's
are
first
priceless
secretarial
tools.
gig.
Computers deal with numbers,
And cat
and the
videos.
complex calculations they carry out are the result of their ability to do many simple, ordinary sums with speed and accuracy.
This advanced math is all over my head. I'm a communications major.
They can store numbers until required,
Bingo! I
and they
think.
can also do simple logical operations such as selection.
I think you mean such as
For
seals.
example, they can determine which is the larger of two
By
numbers,
spinning around them violently.
or the numbers larger than 13 can be separated from those that are smaller. It seems extraordinary that with such a limited number of abilities, computers can do so much. Yet, the letters of the alphabet can express the whole of
Gnats,
human knowledge.
sex, lozenge. What?
A computer is a straightforward, everyday machine.
Just like this guy, a straight-up
The simple way
tool.
of studying the principle of how it works is to reduce it to 5 basic functions.
Fire, earth, air, water,
There is a
and
means of
heart.
input, which we will symbolize by a pair of spectacles.
Gross, dude. There might be kids watching.
I think he said
Next, there is a
spectacles.
memory,
Oh.
or store, which we show as a bank of numbered slots.
Bank of Numbered Sloths
All
is my
instructions
Flock of
and
Seagulls
data
cover
being worked
band.
on are stored here. Then there is the calculating function, symbolized by a desk adding machine.
Which in turn will be symbolized by a
Fourth
cheese
is the
sandwich.
computer output.
Delicious.
A typewriter is the symbol for this.
Powered by mugwumptism.
Lastly, there
Less
is a
delicious.
control unit, represented here by a numbered dial.
Man, I really don't like this version of the TARDIS console.
All 5 functions can, of course, be carried out by people, a human computer, so to speak.
But that would be stupid.
In studying the principles, the first point is that a computer is quite dead. It can do nothing without someone to give instructions.
Or poke it with a stick.
The instructions our computer can deal with are few and quite simple. The first one tells the computer to store a given number in a specific slot. But this is rather clumsy. Let us write it more briefly.
I don't get it.
The next instruction is to add 2 numbers in the store and then return the answer to the store.
No receipt, wrong box, half of
Again,
it
it can
missing
be
like I
faulty.
usually do.
Similarly, computers can be instructed to subtract, multiply, and divide.
Witchcraft! Heresy!
A further
Burn the
essential
evil
instruction
computer!
is to print out the result. And the final instruction is stop.
In the name of love, assumedly.
A selection from these instructions can be used to solve any problem that this computer can tackle.
Like, what is the point of riffing an industrial film that's mostly text on a screen?
Consider how a program can be worked out to solve a simple problem.
You put him in the game grid till he dies playing?
Here is a
Sounds right to
summary of
me.
4. The individual ages are known. The problem is to find out the average age.
Mom's a NILF. Numeral I'd like to
All the
factor.
information, the data, as it's called, is put into store. The first child's age in slot 1, and so on.
Is the
number
dad
of
wearing
people in the
Spider
family is
Jerusalem
stored in
glasses?
slot 5.
Yeah, he hates it here.
Computers can only add 2 numbers at a time, so a running total of the ages must be made. First, the 2 children's ages in slots 1 and 2 are added together.
Okay, who divided by 0?
Next, mother's age is added to the total. Then father's age.
Are you sure this one was a good idea to riff?
Just go with it.
The next
Let's go.
step is to
Fine.
divide the total ages, which is now in slot 1 of the store, by the number in the family, which is in slot 1. Instruction number 10 is necessary to obtain the required answer from the computer.
Yes.
And finally,
Stop dragging my heart around? Ah.
these 11 instructions make up a complete, if very simple, program, one that could be handled by our human computer.
Except the cheese sandwich guy. He's
The
dead
computer
weight.
comes alive when the operator supplies it with a set of instructions, or program, as it's called. Each component has a separate function and only acts when told to by the controller.
Uh-huh.
In this simplified computer, the reader is reading out the program instructions step by step and passing the data to the storer, who puts it in its appointed slots.
This is so much like
The
my
controller
actual
must
day
know
job,
what part
it's
of the program
scary.
is being worked on. So he clicks up
It's
his cursor
3:15.
at every
3:15. Still 3:15 over here. It's 3:50. Oh.
Annie Clark from St. Vincent,
Now
what are
all the
you
data
doing
has been
here?
stored, and a running total of the ages is being made.
Oh,
Only 2 numbers
shit. How do I
are
process
added at
infinity
one
again?
time.
Where's the manual?
Worst gong show ever.
And tea time. The human computer breaks for Earl Grey and little sandwiches.
Yay!
When all the ages have been added, the controller gives the next instruction: to divide the total by 4, the number in the family.
Doom, 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 doom.
Money! Honey! It's gas.
Ah, current number of fucks to give.
The printer is then ordered to print the result.
But is inevitably out of toner.
The final instruction is stop.
Pencils down. Good show, everyone.
For such a small problem, our human computer is more than adequate. A more realistic problem, a computer-sized one, would be to find out the average age of the whole human race.
Pictured here.
Assume that we have a list of every single individual age.
Yeah, and assume we give
The
two
end of the
shits.
list is put the population total, 3 billion.
2 billion of whom live cheaply in a small flat in Brixton.
Store the first age in slot 1.
Oh, good, another one of these. I can take a little
Store the
nap.
next age in 2.
Relax.
Add them together and store in slot 1. Store the next age in slot 2, and so on.
Be sure to note that in
But
your
note how the
copybook.
program is repeating
Now.
itself. There is a similar instruction for storing each age, and another repetitive one for adding it to the total.
It's not that I don't get it, it's that I don't care.
Yeah.
The complete program will have more than 6 billion such instructions and will be totally unmanageable.
Advanced Dungeons and Dragons,
Fantastic way of
Basic Rule
sorting
Set,
must be
Volume
found.
1.
First, all the ages can be removed from the store, except the 2 that are actually being worked on.
I'm starting to miss the menstruation short.
Then, instead of a separate repetitive instruction on how to deal with each age, all instructions after the third are replaced by a new general one, which returns the computer to instruction 2, ready to add in another age.
I miss Sledge and his whimsical hatred
The
of
next
fuse
instruction
boxes.
uses the
Yeah.
ability of computers to select from alternative courses of action. A number over 999 can't be a human age, so this instruction is not acted upon as the ages are total.
Doesn't take Jedi Masters
Putting
into
it
account,
after
does it?
instruction 2
No,
means
as a matter of
that
fact, it
only
doesn't.
when the population total, which is larger than 999, turns up, will the computer move on to the next instruction. This is to divide the total ages in slot 1 by the population total in slot 2. The answer, the average age of the human race, is stored in slot 1.
We're stuck in this one, aren't we?
The next instruction is to print the answer.
Yeah, we're in elbow deep.
And finally, stop.
Yes, please stop.
By using a stored program, only 8 instructions enable a computer to work out the average age of 3 billion people. Our human computer
Oh, lovely, them
could take
again.
this 8-instruction program and carry out the job. But as each age takes about 30 seconds to add up, even if
My
everyone
God, they're
has
going
the
into
maximum
Benny
possible
Hill
speed,
time.
it will not
Yakety sacks on standby.
It is inconceivable that such techniques could cope with the huge volume of information that has to be processed today.
In the not-too-distant
A
future...
satellite
Oh,
is
I
one of
made
the most
myself
rapidly
sad.
moving mechanical objects that man has produced. But even this takes about 90 minutes for a journey around the Earth.
90 minutes, but I want it now!
An electric pulse takes about a third of a second for the trip. Clearly, electric pulses are one solution to the problem of designing a really fast computer. Most electrical devices can be in 2 states.
On fire and
Bulb is
exploding.
on or off. A voltage is present or absent.
A short is entertaining. Or this one.
A current is flowing or not. A magnetic field is in one direction or in the
Welcome to die.
other. A switch is off or on. Man has 10 fingers and long ago found it convenient to tally things in groups of 10.
And thus, the invention of jazz hands.
Ooh.
This is the basis of the decimal system, which uses 10 digits from 0 through to 9.
And Cookie Monster. No, wait, that's a letter.
Any number written in the decimal system means so many ones, 5 of them, so many tens, so many hundreds, that is
It's as many as
10 by
10 tens. That's terrible.
Wow.
so many thousands, that is 10 by 10 by tens, and so on.
What the shit?
I didn't know it was one of these kind of shorts.
If an octopus were to study mathematics, he would naturally use the octal system, that is counting in 8s, using the numbers from 0 to
I
7.
feel like we're assuming a lot about octopi here.
For the number humans call 85, he would write 1, 2, 5.
Roughly translated as Ia Ia Cthulhu Fatagnan.
Ah,
1, 2, 5 in octal means 5 ones,
Octo for down, request backup?
2 eights, 164, that is 8 by 8, total 85. Any calculation that can be done in decimal mathematics can be carried out equally well in octal.
Unless you're a squid. Fuck those guys.
No springs!
Electricity has only 2 fingers, so to speak, off and on. So for electronic computers, it is most convenient to use the binary system with only 2 digits, 0 and 1.
No, that is the cutest light bulb.
The little light bulb.
What we call 13 is written 1101 in binary. 11. No 2.
This is all going to be on the test, by the way.
Oh, I was worried about that.
That is 2 by 2. 1 8. That is 2 by 2 by 2.
Binary is how robots cuss. Now you know.
You just called me a motherfucker.
Clearly,
Maybe.
13 can be represented by 4 bulbs. On, off, on. Similarly, current flowing or not flowing can be used.
But it's not as cute.
Or magnetism, one way or the opposite. Any of these electrical states can represent 13 or any other number.
Roma, land of numerals.
If the letters of the alphabet are given numbers to represent them, the numbers can, of course, be written in binary. The binary numbers, in turn, can be shown by light bulbs, on or off.
Words are light bulbs. Space is warped and
Roma
time is
can be
bendable.
written
Ask
out
me
in
about
13
TimeCube.
light bulbs.
No, because you are
In this
educated
way, It
stupid.
is possible to put names or written instructions into a computer program.
Meanwhile, in the Hall of Justice...
With all computers, the input must be in a form that can be handled rapidly, and that the computer can recognize. A punched card is one widely used type of input.
Chris Brown's
There
favorite
are
kind of data input.
one or more holes in different positions on the card can represent any numeral, letter, or conventional sign. The computer program can be punched directly onto the cards by a machine which automatically converts ordinary text into the appropriate symbol.
These cards, or
Cards can be
tweets,
fed
are
into
then
the
read
computer
aloud by
extremely
celebrities.
Please no.
The main memory or store of a computer consists of a matrix made up of 1 million or more tiny ring magnets.
AKA a series
Each
of
one can be
tubes.
magnetized by an electric current passing through it. By altering the direction in which the current flows, the core can be magnetized in one direction, that is, store a 0, or in the opposite direction, and therefore store a 1.
Storing a 2 or larger involves nth
Such
dimensional
cores can
coordinates.
store, or they can be read out at almost the speed of light. The calculator, like all computer components, is a mass of electronic circuitry. It deals with electric pulses representing binary ones or zeros, and can add, subtract...
This is the
divide,
boop in his short. I
multiply,
give this one
all
10
the
out of 10.
selections from any numbers. The function of the control unit is like that of the conductor of an orchestra.
Hey, it's the High and Mighty Master
Brings
Control
each
program
section
everybody's been
or
talking
instrument
about.
in at the appropriate time, but follows a score.
Wave
The
arms, look like you know what
computer
you're
terms a
doing.
Program, written in an appropriate code by another person. The computer output can be by means of a printer, which converts all the binary information into words or figures. But computers do many important jobs that need little actual output.
So Sheila here will be laid off at the end
They
of this
control
short.
industrial processes, for example, and keep records. In such cases, they only report exceptional or unusual facts. When the output is large, it can be on magnetic tape, or magnetic discs are very convenient. Or the output can be punched cards.
Just slap them around. They like it.
In some circumstances, it is more useful for the computer to actually show the results as a television-type display.
Ooh.
Or you can telephone the computer and listen to the appropriate recorded answer.
CompuServe in its
The
heyday.
results produced are reliable because there are inbuilt circuits which cross-check every stage of the calculation.
It just keeps saying, kill all humans. What does that mean?
Speed, then, and the fact that it is automatic and reliable are the computer's two strong points.
No one
A
expects
major
the Digital
calculation might take
Inquisition.
an unaided man a year. A computer could do it in less than a second.
And that's how Devo was born.
So computers can solve, or at least help with, problems impossible for men because of the time involved.
Problems such as,
Or
what
indeed
is
you don't
love?
have to do
Research
such
here at the
tedious
Hathaway
work.
Institute continues.
But computers have no originality, no initiative. If a computer lands an aircraft, it is only because it has been precisely programmed to do so.
Maybe be a little nicer and we won't crash and kill you all, flesh bag.
Bigotry.
A man's judgment can tell him immediately which of 2 or 3 alternatives will be the shortest route across a city.
Mornington
A
Crescent, I
computer
hate
would have
that
to be
game.
programmed
Yeah, me too.
with the length of every road and its terminal points. It could then add up the thousands of alternative routes and select the shortest in a fraction of a second.
Or your GPS unit decides it doesn't
Unless
like
it
you
was
and dumps you in the
specifically
Thames.
programmed,
Either way, yay for
it would never know
computers!
that the riverside is beautiful, and that this can make a journey seem shorter.
I know now why you like tea and crumpets, but it is something I can never do.
These children are going to grow up into a world in which the most important technological factor is the development and spread of computers.
Blah, 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 Skynet,
But
blah, blah, blah,
already
Matrix,
they are
blah, blah,
mastering
blah.
all that a computer can ever know. How to read. How to do sums. How to group things together.
Clearly
How to
these
play
kids
out
are a
numbers
menace and must be
decide
stopped.
which is the larger. How to select the correct shapes to fill empty slots. And finally, how to write. These are the only things computers can do. Anything more is done by the men and the women who write the programs.
You heard it here first. Computers are better than children in every
Our
way.
material world is entering a period of rapid change, in which computers will increasingly affect all our lives.
Soon the computer will rule the world. All hail her mighty
Have been
circuits.
told
All
as to their
hail.
preferred living pattern for the end of the century. A computer produced this plan for a city of the future by processing the individual desires of 500,000 people for different types of homes,
People apparently like
methods of
Legos.
transport, patterns of leisure and of work, together with the expected population growth and the resources available.
Is that the Bubble City from Logan's
The
Run?
computer could only offer
probably.
a series of mathematical concepts. It is to the degree that we understand this powerful tool and how best to use it that we can gain the maximum possible benefit.
And sexually harassed journalists from
Only
thousands
men
of
and
miles
women
away.
can ensure that this city of the future will be a place of beauty and tranquility.
You should probably build it out of something other than paper, but okay.
Sexist Iconography by Tucker Max.
Boo.
So, what exactly have we learned about computers today?
I learned that all functions of a computer can be perfectly replicated by 5 bored office workers in a closet.
I learned that in the future, computers will be operated only by men! Big, brawny, manly men with muscles and flannel shirts and mustaches! Except for all the women who were also operating equipment in this short.
Yeah, credit where credit's due on that one. Still, the title's a bit iffy.
It's about what you'd expect for the time, really.
That's why I'm glad we live in an enlightened age where these silly differences between genders just don't apply, and sexism is well and truly dead in business as well as in personal life.